Are we on? Are we on? Are we in? Everybody in. The ceremony is about to begin. Eric Arnold here at 2:20, 2:10. 2:10 in the morning on Saturday morning, January, whatever it is, the 18th. Look, I promised you I'd get you a video, and here I am. Far be it from me to break a promise. I've often thought that smoking cigars is the last great sin in the world, and that you could more easily smoke a fatty out on Broadway than you could smoke a cigar. And I would argue that LSU is they are my witnesses to this, in that they are probably in more trouble for smoking cigars than they are for taking cash from OBJ. Honestly, I'm drunk and I don't even know the guy's name. The guy that played for the Giants and now he plays for the Browns, and he was giving out cash. Well, you know, to hear LSU tell it, it wasn't cash, it was fake counterfeit money, but Joe Burrow says it was cash. Look, here. Now, here's the deal. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I really don't care if he gave him cash. Who gives a goddamn about that? Seriously, NCAA, are you going to bust LSU's balls over this? Over this? Seriously? Christ. Cigar break. This is the third take of this video, and I hope I don't say anything inflammatory on this one, because I'd really like to get this one over with and just go to bed. I've had more than one or two. I will not confirm or deny where that happened and how I got home. None of your fucking business, frankly. And let's talk college basketball. Well, fuck that. Let's talk baseball. That's what I want to talk about. This baseball scandal has me irritated, all kind of irritated. One of the things interesting I saw today, and I don't know if I'll be able to get this out to you where it makes sense, but I watched the Altuve video again where he hits the home run off of Chapman to win the pennant this year. And he rounds the bases, and he's hugging his jersey real tight, very suspicious, especially now that we've, been told that he was wearing a wire. Now, what seemed just kind of odd now makes sense. It's like, oh, I see. He's hugging his jersey real tight. Because you don't want anybody to pull it off and reveal his wire. So that's all done. And they congratulate him, and it's all over. And now, 2-3 minutes later, he's over there by the dugout to get his, obligatory interview. And who's interviewing him? Ken Rosenthal from Fox. Now, to refresh your memory, who broke this story with the source being Mike Fiers, formerly of the Astros, now of the Athletics, telling what went down. That was Rosenthal's main source on the article on The Athletic in the fall. Now, Ken Rosenthal is doing the interview with Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve just won the World Series, the pennant. Just won the pennant. He's Bobby Thompson. He just won the pennant. Rosenthal could ask him anything. What does he ask him? And I did not recognize this at the time. But I just saw the video, and I'm like, holy cow. He asked him, and I quote, when you crossed home plate, you would not let your teammates pull off your jersey. Why? And Altuve goes, what? And he says it again. When you crossed home plate, you wouldn't let your teammates pull your jersey open. Why? He could have asked him anything. And he asked him that, which tells me Rosenthal was being fed this information long before this article came out in The Athletic in the fall. He knew goddamn well why he wouldn't let him pull his jersey off, because he's wearing a fucking wire. That's why. And Rosenthal knew it. because he'd been told that. And now we've been told that. Altuve, you tell me I'm wrong. I guess you already have, saying I never wear a wire. Bull fucking shit. You were wearing a wire. You did it. You cheated. I accuse you. So saith the Lord. All right, let's talk college basketball. And no, I'm not writing this stuff down because it's 2 in the morning on a Saturday morning. I'm drunk, and you're going to get what you get. You're lucky I'm here at all. Let me smoke a cigar. Gurkha, they're hit or miss. I mean, you know, you can have some real, oddly enough, the price point on the Gurkhas is like way the hell up there. And they're really hit or miss. You usually can get them some Cigars International at a cheap price because no one buys these things, even though I guess they come from the manufacturer like $10 a stick. They're not $10 a stick cigars, I can tell you that. But this I got for much less than that, and yeah, it's just fine, just fine. All right, what do we have here? And so listen up. I'm not writing this down, so I'll say it once, then I'll repeat it for subscriber X, and well, then there you have it. And yes, it will count towards the standings. These picks were made prior to my getting drunk, so they do count. All I got to do is read them. I just got to read them. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, one of those people on Fox or something like Howie Long or Terry, that would be better, where he just got lit up before going out on camera and just got drunk. That would be funny. I mean, that would be watch-see TV. It would be much like Joe, for those of you that remember, Joe Namath going out there, and Broadway Joe going out there hitting on Susie Colbert. That was must-see TV. But they don't allow that on TV anymore. But this is my own little YouTube channel. I'll probably have to take this thing down. YouTube will probably say, you were drunk and you cannot put that up there. That's a violation of clause whatever in our whatever the hell. You're probably right. And I'll probably have to take it down. It'll get like 6 views, but I'll have to take it down. What can you do? All right, UConn. UConn, coached by, I don't have it written down. The other Hurley. Is it Dan? Is that right? Dan Hurley? And Bobby, he coaches, I think, Arizona State. Well, it's not him. It's the other guy. Danny, I believe, coaches UConn. They're 10-6. I don't even have the Pomeroy ranking down here. Well, they're getting, is that right? Is that right? They're getting 10? They're getting 10 from Villanova? I wrote this shit down before I came out to the barn. I double-checked because I knew it was important to get the right number. They're getting 10 right now from Villanova, and this pains me. This does pain me. Villanova 13-3. This game's at Wells Fargo. Fuck. See, this is the trouble. When you let the cigar go out, then you got no cigar. But you gotta, when you don't smoke it often enough. See, I read online, so it must be true, that George Burns, of course, do you know who George Burns was? Famous vaudevillian, comedian, born probably in the 1890s, lived to be 100 years old. He played God in the Oh God movies, which you would probably know him as. Great man, and he smoked, depends where you listen to, 10, 20 cigars a day until he died, for those of you who think cigars are bad for you. My grandfather smoked, I would say 5, 10 cigars a day. He died at 88. Actually, ended up face up in my flower bed. That's another story. Now, had he not smoked 5, 10 cigars, would he have lived to be 98? Probably not. He probably still would have ended up face up in my flower bed. At any rate, I don't know where it's going with that. Oh, yeah, the cigar. He said, George Burns said the cigar is a great prop in that you smoke your cigar on stage. And he said, if you drop a line or something or forget what to say, you just take a puff of the cigar, and while you're taking the puff of the cigar, you remember where you were. So where I was telling you why I think UConn is going to beat Villanova, or at least lose by 10 or less points. And I know this one pains me that I got picked against Jay Wright, who's my guy. But, and I kind of talked myself into this one, but it's going to snow here in about 8 hours, not even less. It's going to snow soon. I mean soon. And that's going to keep the attendance down at Wells Fargo Center. And that's a big building that holds 20,000. They might get 10. They might get 10. UConn's moving into the Big East next year. They're getting out of the American. They're moving into the Big East. This is a big game for UConn. And they've had, I think, a week off where they haven't played a game. So these guys, I mean, they are pointing to this game. This is a big game for these guys. They want to, I mean, you're stepping back into the Big East. We used to be in the Big East, then they went off to the little American conference, wherever. I mean, UConn used to be a deal. I mean, they used to be a real big deal. Now they've, whatever they did with Jim Calhoun, they put him somewhere. And then UConn just kind of went like that. But now, this is their chance to re-announce to the world, yeah, we're still somebody. And we're going to walk in here, and we're going to play the biggest and baddest Big East team. And we're going to beat their ass on TV, and this is what they are intending to do. And Villanova, this is just another game to them. So I don't know if I convinced you or not, but throw 2 stars on that one. UConn getting 10. All right, what's next? All right, here's a game. This is just, here comes Eric back in the minor leagues. George Washington. They are 7-10. Pomeroy reading 235. They're getting 5. Is that right? Yes, they're getting 5 at Massachusetts. Massachusetts, that's without Marcus Camby, without John Calipari, without Julius Erving. UMass, they're 7-10. Pomeroy ranking to 179. We're taking George Washington because we think they got an up-and-coming coach. An up-and-coming coach who, and we don't like UMass's coach at all. It's not John Calipari. And we really like Washington here. George Washington, we think they're going to cover the 5. Is that right? 5? Well, that's what my notes say. Seems like it should be more than that. But George Washington's going to give those guys a game. The records are identical. Bill Parcells theory. So we like George Washington. Take them 2 stars. Number next. LaSalle from the Fighting City of Philadelphia. They are 10-6. I can't read my own writing. 176 Pomeroy ranking. It looks like they are getting 10.5 from homestanding Rhode Island at 11-5. Pomeroy ranking 68. I think I don't like Rhode Island's coach. I think the thinking is that Rhode Island's coach, we don't like him. LaSalle has a relatively new coach, but he's a Jay Wright disciple. He's one of their ex-assistants, Ashley Howard. And we like him. We like LaSalle here. 10.5 points is a lot of points, especially in conference. And Rhode Island's been traveling. Now they're coming home. And, it seems like a good point for them to take a break. Honestly, I cannot tell what is smoke coming out of my mouth and what is just like steam because it's so goddamn cold here in the sports barn. Whoops. And my lighters died. My cigars died. Let's just get this video over. Like I said, this is take 3. I said inappropriate things in take 1 and 2, and I had to kill it. I was telling you about my night out at the bar, which was all inappropriate. So now we're on take 3, so let's just get through this. I can't remember the name of the coach. I think his last name is Moten. North Carolina Central, which is the MEAC. I told you in a previous episode, North Carolina Central is the cream of the MEAC. These are the guys that end up in Dayton more than once, and I've looked them up and saying, who are these guys? Can they beat Arkansas, Prairie View, whatever the hell? And, no, I'm sorry. To get it right, Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's generally who they end up playing. So I looked that up more than once. So these guys are the ones that win their conference games in the MEAC leading up to that Tuesday game in Dayton. Well, at any rate, these guys are 2-1 in conference. They're getting 6 points. On the road at Bethune-Cookman. I had to look that up. That's in Daytona Beach. Those guys are 3-1 in conference. 6 points. The guys that generally win the conference are getting 6 points. I'll take the points. I'll take the champion. Give me Moten. Give me North Carolina Central. All these picks are 2 stars. All these picks are 2 stars. All these picks are 2 stars. That's 4 of them. Now here's number 5. Nevada is 11-7. Pomeroy ranking 101. They are getting, Jesus Christ, who writes this shit? Looks like 13. Nevada is getting 13 on the road at undefeated San Diego State, 18-0. Pomeroy ranking 12. I saw them the other night. It struck me as a 1980s version of Temple. Here's the thing with being undefeated. It just gets tougher and tougher and tougher to be undefeated every game that goes on. The pressure just gets more and more and more. 13 points. Steve Alford, do you remember him? He coaches Nevada. Is he a good coach? Against the spread, his record is pretty But he's getting 13 points here. 13 points? I like Nevada. I think those guys, this is going to be a relatively low-scoring game because San Diego State just doesn't score. So, if this game ends up, say, 40-28, we win. We're getting 13 damn points. So we like Nevada. Now here, let me give you a bonus pick now. Take this one with a grain of salt because I just threw this in here while I was drunk. So we'll give 1 star to this one. We're going to take Roy Williams, and the North Carolina Tar Heels getting 4. I got the goddamn Tar Heels and I'm getting points at Pitt. Give it to me. I'll take it. It's probably a trap. 1 star on that one. Roy Williams is a better coach than Krzyzewski's disciple, Jeff Capel. Roy Williams is a better coach, and we will take the Tar Heels because they got to have it. They're not going to miss the tournament. They got to have this game. They're going to get it at Pitt. The Tar Heels over Pitt +4. So there's 6 games for you. Let me recap. UConn getting 10. George Washington getting 5. LaSalle getting 10.5. North Carolina Central getting 6. Nevada getting 13. And the North Carolina Tar Heels, if you've heard of them, getting 4. That's it. That's what we got for you. NFL, if you missed that episode, we have Kansas City and San Francisco. I was thinking about this. I thought, I can only think of one person in the whole goddamn world that would want to see a San Francisco, Tennessee Super Bowl, and that's a friend of mine named Earl Carey. That's not his real name, but Earl Carey works at a dog food factory, and he actually roots for both these teams, which I think is kind of cheating. I mean, how the hell can you have 2 teams? You're only allowed to have 1 team. Well, you know, Earl has no scruples. He has no God. So he roots for both these teams, and he would be perfectly happy with Tennessee versus San Francisco. But that's not what's going to happen. It's going to be San Francisco versus Kansas City in the Super Bowl. So it is written, so it shall be done. Big E, from me to you, good morning.